Evening, folks. Welcome to Everyday KT number 146. Today, we're going to try to have some shenanigans. So, I have a couple of different folks trying to figure out whichever one calls first actually will get in. So, let me see if I can't do this. So this is going to be the first day of the actual call-in show. So I'm going to try this, see what happens. Going to have to use my phone, do some shenanigans. Let's see if this works. Alrighty. Dialing. Caller number 5 gets a free kick in the ass. Hey, Kim. Hey, Mike.
Hello, this is Corey McDonald with JLA Real Estate.
Oh.
Please leave a message.
Did not answer. Well, that sucks. Let's see if we can't figure this out. Alrighty, well, we'll try this one out. Let's try this. Tried you, Corey. Didn't answer. See what happens with this one.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Hey, can you guys hear Chris on the live feed? Somebody let me know.
So the bad thing is I can't see the live feed.
Well, it's because you're talking to me. Of course you can't.
I know, right? Actually, be glad I answered the phone because I'm like, Tulsa. Who the hell's in Tulsa?
You can't hear him? Can you guys hear him now?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me now? Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Chris, you're killing me.
What? I'm the one who's doing it.
Well, I'm sitting here. No, you can't hear. Mike, you can't hear him? Good, bad, what?
Anything? Bueller?
Well, of course. Okay, you can hear him. You can't see him. Okay.
Well, that's fine. You're not going to see me.
No, you. Okay, so this is what you get to see. There you go. Boom. Alrighty. So this is awesome. Finally, we figured it out. We can have live people on the show. So for those of you who don't know, we have Chris Gullick with us. He is in. Where are you?
I am in the Yakima Valley in Washington.
It's Washington, D.C. or D.C. State?
State.
Awesome. So Washington State. I'm in Cape Cod. I can throw a rock. Well, no, I can't throw. If I put it on the back of a truck and chucked it, I could hit the ocean. And how far are you from the water?
We are 3 hours from the water.
Okay, so 3 hours from the Pacific Ocean. I'm 3 minutes from the Atlantic Ocean. All at once.
Yep.
So, awesome. Awesome. First time. I think we're going to do this a whole lot. Mike, you've got my geography brain. Don't give me that crap. So, never done a live show, so we're just gonna wing this one. So, Chris,
Yeah.
what got you into kilts to start with? How did you?
Yeah, so what got me in was just, it's something I'd wanted to do for a long time. I'd seen a couple of pictures online. I'm like, I think I can wear a kilt. And then on a trip to Seattle about 10 years ago, we stopped in Utilakilts, and I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of kilts. Then I bought my first kilt, but I wasn't really a kiltie yet because I only wore it like twice a year. Because I was like, oh, I got to wear it for special occasions.
Awesome. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't. Now I do it every day.
So, okay. So my question. Okay, a couple of quick questions then. One, when did you make the decision to transition from sometimes when it's cool to pretty much all the time?
Oh, it took me a couple of years, but I would say, well, it took me more than a couple of years. Last October, November, and then that's when I decided to do. I cleared it through work, so I could. They was part of the dress code. And then I just decided on January 1st to do it every single day.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what kind of response have we gotten? Okay, so we'll do that in two questions. The first one, what's the worst encounter you've ever had because you've had your kilt on?
You get those looks, you get the stares, you get the little giggles. I do get Mommy, why is he wearing a dress?
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
I get that a lot. My kids, which I laugh at because they just don't know any better.
Exactly, yeah.
But I kind of stick around to see what the parents say.
Easier that way.
That's true.
So,
like I said, I'm driving to the new house, so it's no big deal.
Awesome. So, guys, I don't know what happened. My tablet crapped out. So, Everyday KT number 146, take 2. Hopefully, the other video isn't still trying to run. So, for those of you who don't know what happened, Chris Gullick from Washington State is on the phone with us. And
what's up?
Hey, Chris. So, we did a little bit of talking in the first video. I don't know where it crapped out. So, it's not. Okay, good. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. So, that's Tulsa, Oklahoma checking in to verify that the Massachusetts to Washington State connection is still good. So, we got somebody in the middle who can tell us when things are busted. Awesome. So, we talked about in the other half of the first piece of the video, he got into kilts about 10 years ago because he lives only a few hours from Utilikilts, got one, and did you say it was January 1st of this year where you started going full-time?
Yeah, that's when I started my everyday, I wore kilts every single weekend for about a year, but I still wasn't brave enough to do it at work. And then I got a new job out here when we moved, and I was like, let's see if I can wear a kilt to work. And they said, yep, as long as it's, knee length, so I just have to be conscious of that length when I wear kilts to work. And then I just wear one every single day. Awesome.
Awesome. So Mike brought up a good point. He lost the feed. I figured out what the problem was, Mike. It was conflicting Wi-Fi, and it zigged when it should have zagged, and they were inverted, and that's when it shit the bed. So, Chris, the feed died. I had asked what the worst experience you had was in your kilt. And you had said basically the standard, the silly looks, the silly questions, the sneers, the under the breath comments. And it stopped right around the time when you said that, the kids asked, why is that man wearing a dress? I get that comment all the time as well from children because A, kilts are not common, and B, they just don't know any better. So, what else, did you have anything else that was like bad that you've had to deal with?
Not in person. I get that's really cool. I get a lot of good stuff. I mean, the good stuff outweighs the bad stuff like 10 to 1.
Yep.
But of course, the bad stuff you remember better than the good stuff. So, and really online, I've had no negative interactions because, as you know, I post a crudload of videos online.
Only a few.
Yeah, but I've had one person who was just, I don't know if she was just ignorant or playing dumb or just wanted to get under my skin.
Yeah.
But she made a couple comments and I was like, dude, really? So I've had 99.99% positive interactions.
Awesome. Awesome. So,
yeah.
Okay, so to build on that, what has been the absolute best experience you've ever had wearing your kilt? And it doesn't just mean, it's going to be that experience. It's like, you know what? That was just awesome, and I'm probably never going to forget that.
Oh, yeah. I haven't, it was funny. It was actually, how long ago did we move here? Probably about a year and a half ago. Whenever we'd go to New York City, I'd wear my kilts to any of the Broadway shows that we saw. And I just had so many people say, that's pretty cool that you're wearing that kilt out. Or, of course, my favorite has been the last winter, where they're like, it's 5 degrees outside. You are crazy, but you're dang awesome for wearing that kilt when it's minus 5 degrees outside.
Yeah. I kind of remember a couple of those videos where you're walking around and I couldn't see where your legs ended and the snow began, much less the kilt. It was ridiculous. So,
and it boosts my confidence every single day that I wear one. I mean, yeah.
That's actually that's a good segue because that's where I was going next. So, having worn your kilt every day, more or less, for the past year, what has that done for you as an individual?
and this is where I really thought about it today, is I sit at work taller. I treat people better. I have more confidence. And a lot of this is mental. I mean, it's not just because I'm wearing a kilt, but I'm different now. I mean, I was way different before. But now I'm like, I stand out now. I represent a whole clan. And I always think about this. I represent a whole clan of men wearing a kilt. And women. I know there's women who wear it.
Yep.
But I represent that everybody who wears a kilt. And I'm like, what can I do to make this movement move forward and not be a negative and a douchebag about wearing a kilt? So really it's just smiling at people, educating people, having fun in a kilt, because I'm a goofball naturally.
Yep.
But when I'm in a kilt, that comes out even more. It's me being me at this point. It's living out loud, and it's enjoying life and essentially not having to worry about pants every day.
Yeah. So so I'm going to actually let you field this question. Farland Blackwood asks a question. He says, you're mentioning people making stupid comments, getting weird looks, etc. What do you say to people who say you are wearing the kilt because you want the attention?
It's funny because sometimes I'll say, you're right. I mean, the attention is there. I'm not going to deny it, but it's not, and I tell them I don't go out seeking the attention.
Yeah.
I go out just being me, but I'm not going to turn away from it and be like, oh my God, somebody's staring at me, or somebody's snickering at me or whatever. If I'm in a really good mood, like I will go up to them and say, I saw you were looking at me in this kilt. Do you have any questions about it? Do you have anything like that? But usually I acknowledge what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whether I look at them or I just kind of wave at them or whatever, or if I'm in one of my tartans, I'll get my kilt switch going a little bit more than it was. I know, right? But it's just I'm not there for the attention. But I do tell them it's not me wanting attention. It's just me wearing something that I find really comfortable.
Yeah.
Really easy to move around in.
Yep.
And then I always tell them, and this is where your plug comes in. I'm like, there's this cool guy online. Go find him and find some of his videos, and you'll get it. Or I tell them about Utilakilts or Stumptown Kilts, the ones that are up in this area.
Yep.
Or depending on the person, I tell them about Kilted Brothers
Yep.
in Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
because they are a specific niche kilt maker at this point.
Yep.
But I definitely tell them about where I get all my kilts, because I can't like one brand better over another. That's like choosing children.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I tried that once with my kilts, not my kids, with the kilts, and it's either really expensive ones or you can't get specific styles. Kind of screws you up.
Yeah, and I mean each kilt is different. Each kilt has a different feel to it. Some are really light, which was good for today because it was 87 degrees out here today. And some are heavier, and some do different things when you wear them, and it's just. So it's not about attention for me, and I'll tell people that.
Yeah.
It's not about the attention. It's not about, getting all the looks or getting all the compliments. But on the flip side, getting those compliments, and, just boost my ego a little bit those days.
Definitely.
I'm like, that's awesome that you guys think that I look good on my kilt, but I'm just me being me.
Yeah. So, and for me, it's some days I can't say that I'm not looking for the attention because.
But, yeah.
For my profession, I am a professional marketer. I help people with PR, and I help people get seen, in their professional life. So yes, in some cases, my job is to get attention. So that doesn't suck. But otherwise, if I'm going to Walmart, I don't want 3 people coming up asking me questions, or I'm not out there trying to get somebody's attention because I know that they're there. I'm just showing up because I need to go get some bread and milk and eggs for the kids or to eat, or I need a new, pair of socks because I got to go camping. Something silly like that.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike, yes, you do need a TU kilt. Union has a group of kids. I actually spoke with them once when I was in Oklahoma. Union's a high school down in Tulsa, or outside of Tulsa. Mike, send me a message later. We'll look into that. Hey, Farland, I know you can't see Farland. Just say responded. He asked a question earlier. He says, "Hey, I really appreciate the honesty. I mean, I think they're awesome, and I love the attention, and I appreciate that you guys are both being honest about them too. Absolutely, Farland. That's the whole point. If I was here to bullshit you, this would be a whole different show, and I'd probably have nobody watching. And the people that would watch, they're not the ones I'd want here.
Oh yeah, it definitely would be, and that's the whole thing about wearing a kilt. You got to be honest. You can't be a bullshitter in a kilt because people will call you out on it.
Oh yeah, all day long. So
you can't.
No. So, gotta ask, what is your absolute favorite kilt? Who made it and why?
So I have two. I'm not gonna lie, I have two favorite ones. The one I wore yesterday, which is my bear tartan.
Yep.
It's one of the best tartans that Kilted Bros have ever done. When I bought it, they didn't have my size, but the owner of Kilted Brothers was wearing it, and he actually took it off and gave it to me on the spot in his shop. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, and then my two red and black utility kilts.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they fit so well. But I have a really strange feeling that that's all going to change in about 4 weeks.
Are those the switchbacks or are those the old style?
Yeah, the switchbacks, the new style.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually actively attempting to pretend to save so I can grab one of those. I want to get one of the camel colored workmen in switchback.
Yeah, the whole switchback thing does take a minute to get used to, especially if you're not used to the strings in the back. I mainly ignore them because the Velcro does just fine, but with my expanding waistline at this point, I kind of have to loosen them a little bit.
Well, think of it this way, though. If considering how long it takes to get used to wearing a kilt, if you can get them adjusted to a kilt in a minute, that's pretty much light speed.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So, that's awesome. So, what... And the last question I have is, what is the one thing that... What's the biggest benefit that you've gotten and that you've been able to pass on since you started doing your videos? I know that you've been doing them. You've got something like 120 or so.
Yeah.
What's the impact that has had on you? And the reason I ask is I teach people professionally how to do those videos. I just finished up a seminar about an hour south of here. And having started from scratch at 0 and gone from that to 120 daily videos, what kind of impact has that had on you, both personally and, I'm not going to say professionally because I don't think you do this kind of stuff for a profession, but socially, I guess. What has it done for you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it builds my confidence because in real life, before I started wearing a kilt, I was super, super shy. Y'all would never know that now.
No,
I was super shy, and I didn't really want to do videos, didn't want to interact. I just did my daily picture postings, whatever.
Yep.
But when I got the kilts, I was like, there's something I just got to do this. And then my postings have switched into, well, let's make this world a better place. Let's do something to make this world a better place. And let's stand out. Let's do something. Let's do whatever we got to do. And professionally, it does help me because it makes it easier for me to talk to the people I talk to on a daily basis in my customer service job.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not as wishy-washy as I used to be. I'm not as timid as I used to be. I'm more direct, even though it may not seem like it on this call. But I think a lot of it is that it gives me the self-confidence to say 100 and some odd people just liked my video, or 200 people just liked my video, and I have 20 people commenting on it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and they all say the same thing. They're like, wow, dude, that's impressive, or wow, we've known you for like 20 years, and you are in a totally different headspace, there's a different aura about you at this point. I mean, not all of that's attributed to the kilt, but I think as my inner person started realizing that, this is helping you be who you are, and helping you to spread the word I could probably go into. But it's just, it's one of those things where now I'm like, I love doing these videos. They're second nature to me.
Yep.
I still act like a big giant goofball all the time.
Happens.
So it's me enjoying life. I've said this before that in October, November, I made the decision to, I'm not going to say not care what other people think, but I made the decision to live life for me.
Yeah.
And that has changed. And then with the addition of me going kilted all the time, it's just like, this is who I am now.
Awesome. So I gotta tell you that we lost about 5 seconds of audio because the thing shit the bed again. But I got us back up. So all the good stuff that you just said is either in the take 2 or take 3. So we didn't miss anything. You were like umming and ahhing in mid thought, like trying to figure out your thoughts when it died.
That's fine.
So I think what I'm going to do from on all of these is, what is, if you were going to, the one question what question would you have for me? What question would you have for me about anything?
So the one question, and I don't actually know if I've ever asked you this before, is, and I've looked at our videos, but why did you start doing your videos?
My videos?
Yeah.
So why did I start doing my videos? So I started doing my videos because a couple of different reasons. One, I had just started watching some Gary Vee. For those of you who know who that is, he is he and I probably are very similar veins of get off your ass, go do your shit, take control of your life, and stop worrying about everybody else. He just got to it about a whole lot sooner than I did, and he happens to be a bazillionaire, and I, as you can see, am in my old garage. Or not you see, but everybody else can see. But what I realized was that a lot of the educational information out there on kilts is all based on traditional, and I quote, I'm doing air quotes, traditional, tartan wool style Victorian era kilt wearing. That's where a vast majority of it is. And there's very little information that isn't a forum post of people asking and answering about how to actually function in society as a kilt-wearing person that's not reenacting and not in a special event. There's not a whole lot out there that isn't historically based. So I'm like, why not? So that's why it's one of the reasons I started this. And since then, it has developed and changed less from how to act specifically as an individual wearing a kilt to how to be a complete badass. And the kilt is just part of your repertoire. So, and that's kind of where I've kind of segued slightly, trying to not just educate people, but to inspire them, even if they don't wear a kilt, to go out and do awesome stuff and be an awesome person and to kick some ass because.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I took a lot of that, and that's why I started my videos.
And that's awesome.
Because you've got the East Coast covered, and I was like, nobody's really saying this on the West Coast. So
no. Even
though my videos reach all over, I'm like, okay, we got to get more and more people to think and be this way.
Exactly. That's kind of the whole point. I know that there aren't very many people in the grand scheme of things who have watched these videos so far.
Yeah.
But there's time. I'm not in a rush. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to change the world today. It'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
But it isn't going to happen. So if I can affect one person, yay. If I can affect 10, well, there's an Arlo Guthrie song about what happens when you start having people do things and walking around chanting stuff. So that's a whole different story. And if you don't know which one I'm talking about, it's the 30th anniversary of Alice's Restaurant. It's very cool. The 50th doesn't have that whole bit in it. So the 30th anniversary of recording. It's awesome. So yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chris, I want to thanks a ton for calling in. Now that we figured this foolish thing out, we can do live call-in shows. So
see, now you could have kilted advice with Kevin.
Bingo. Well, no, it's still everyday KT because I would, in my mind of minds, I'm dreaming and pretending that I have massive brand equity with that.
And well, make a hashtag, make a shirt. Well, I'll wear it.
I think you got something. I think I'm going to start looking at that.
You should.
Just
put the hashtag on a T-shirt.
Boom. Hashtag everydaykt and just make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on the project list. Hey, Mike up in Canada. Hashtag everydaykt. White on a black shirt. I need to talk to you, dude.
That'd be awesome. I'd wear that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. So tomorrow, provided. Well, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Provided he's available, I'm gonna see if Corey can come on. I was dialing both. Or I was trying to talk to both Chris and Corey. So I know both of them had thought about this. I'm like, okay, who actually is available? And while I was talking to Chris, I was talking to Chris, and he was at a fundraiser. He got another record fundraiser day today. He couldn't stop responding. I guess he was busy doing awesome stuff. So I sent Chris a message. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, here's my phone number. And I'm like, okay, we're going to call. And halfway through the talk with you, Corey actually called because I guess he finished. So I'm going to try to get Corey on tomorrow and get the Kilted Realtor on here so we can all have a good conversation, see how it's affected him, because he utilizes it in his everyday business.
Yeah, I know. And he's a retailer. He's a realtor.
He's a real estate agent. Yes, he's been doing real estate.
And I'm at my new house right now, staring at it. So
awesome.
I get off with you. I'm going to do our daily video posting about the new house.
Well, sweet. So, okay, Chris, I'm going to let you go. Those of you out there, as soon as you're done watching me, I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes. Go check out Chris's video. It's going to be cool. So, Chris, I'll let you go so you can get all shenaniganized.
Perfect.
So it's good talking to you, man. And I will,
thank you.
I will talk to you later, man. Have a good night, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Alrighty, so awesome. Now we can have some real fun that's not dedicated to me coming up with shit all the time. So tomorrow, I'm going to try to get Corey on. If you have a vendor, a kilt maker, a sporn maker, a whatever that you would like for me to try to have on the show, tell me. I'm going to see if I can get Seamus from Sport Kilt. I'm going to see if I can't get someone from Utility Kilts, maybe Mike. St. Maybe I can get him on the horn. And depending on what happens, it might be a different time, just because of when they're available. So I'm going to go around, see who I can get. Maybe I can get a couple of kilt members. Maybe I can get somebody in Scotland. That'd be wicked cool. I'd probably have to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning so that they can do it. But who knows? Maybe I can get somebody from ScotWeb. Or who knows? Mike, you're scaring me. Go get a drink. For those of you who didn't see what he said, Mike's watching me and his wife is watching two crazy ladies from Canada. I think she got the short end of that stick. So, because of all the technical BS, I don't know how I'm going to stitch all this crap together, but Everyday KT 1, 2, and 3, number 146, are all going to be out there. I'm going to try to do something with them. I don't know. So, anyway, I'm going to go get that dealt with, and I will let you all go tonight early. Kiltology is go kick ass. So, go have a good time, and be strong. Put a kilt on. Talk to you tomorrow.